Welcome to another edition of Family Chats live from Lakeland, Florida. Here where sports brings the family together. My name is Freddie Rivera. I'm the dad and the uncle here. Got my son Giovanni Rivera here to my left. Say what's up, Joe.
Yo, what's up YouTube? What's up SoundCloud? What's up Facebook? Back again for another week of late night chats. We're gonna remix it this week because we're on like 8:30.
8:30, a little bit later than normal. That's right. And I got my nephew Angel Garcet over there. Say what's up, Angel.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back another week. It's late, but we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get right to it.
Yeah, one final welcome. I got a live studio guest, Chris Garcet over there. Just say what's up, Chris.
What's up?
So as we start another week, the NBA is the hot topic right now. Besides the Yankees, the NBA is it's a little bit mixed on what we thought. We thought the West was going to be one-sided. We thought the East would be competitive, and we got the opposite. We all thought the Sixers would be ready to play the Cavs in a week or so. That does not look like it's going to happen now. But your thoughts, guys? I'm obviously I think it's Golden State right now is the team to beat, but you can't sleep on Houston or the Cavs.
Can we finally just say that LeBron is the GOAT? Can we finally just say it?
Yeah, GOT.
He's got more playoff buzzer beaters than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant combined. He's the GOAT. You cannot say he's not a clutch player anymore because he is. And he's one of the most clutch players ever to play.
I agree.
And if you hate on LeBron at this point in the playoffs, you're just a hater. That's all you are.
Got to respect what LeBron is doing, that's for sure.
Just sit back and watch him win.
So you just respect it. You're in awe of what's happening in this NBA playoffs, how LeBron is carrying that team. And now the team is starting to gain confidence again, playing around him. And so he's not scoring as many points and they're still winning, which is what makes LeBron better, is when he can actually find guys and guys can hit his shots.
He's scoring.
He's still scoring, but he's not in his 40s. He doesn't have his 40s.
Last game.
But when you talk about more buzzer beaters than Jordan and obviously Kobe, that says a lot, obviously. LeBron has played more games than those two in the playoffs. But, again, Jordan never put his team in positions to have to hit buzzer beaters. He just took care of business in the fourth, which is what happens. So, that's just reality. Jordan never went to a Game 7 in the finals. So, we can go on and on and on. But, it's all about LeBron in these playoffs. He's playing fantastic. Got to give him credit. Got to tip your hat. He is playing like a beast. And it's just crazy to watch what he's doing right now. And Toronto is so frustrated right now.
You mean LeBronto?
LeBronto. Canada has officially renamed Toronto LeBronto.
LeBron hates the Cavs.
LeBron is killing that Toronto Raptors team.
He hates the Raptors. He just doesn't like them.
Aaron David, live from, where you at, Aaron? I think he's from Brandon, Florida, maybe Tampa. Says, so do y'all consider Bron a closer now?
That's a good question. And I do. Because I feel like he's gotten to this point in his career where he's been there before plenty of times, and I feel like he's finally doing it. What we all thought he should have been doing years ago when, maybe he was missing a couple shots towards the end of the games. But
yeah.
I feel, like you said, now I feel like he has no choice but to be that guy who's closing the games. Like the last couple of years where he's made it to the finals, he's had other guys who could carry that team to maybe even hit a game-winning shot. But as we do know, he was the guy that they did trust late in those games, even though he was on those Miami Heat teams, even when he had Kyrie, Kevin Love, they were making it to the championships. He was still a guy to close it out because that was obviously he's the leader of that team, so he's going to get the ball. But he wasn't that guy to say, okay, I'm gonna grab the ball, I'm gonna try to shoot it for the game winner. If he had the chance to pass it to Kyrie Irving or pass it to Kevin Love because he knows those guys can shoot and score, then he's okay with that. But now, the way this team is set up, he has no choice but to start closing games and winning games for this team, because if not, they're not going to win at all.
And I think that's the biggest thing. I think it's the fact that he has to do it.
To.
There's nobody else that's going to close out these games because the Cavs are so trash.
Yeah.
And I can't say that fully now because they're playing a little bit better, but he has to do it in this playoffs. This is the first playoffs I feel like Maybe earlier back when he was with the Cavs the first time, but since then he's never had to be the guy that had to close the game out. He's had other weapons on the team that could do it, but now it's all him, and he's the only one. So I think it's helping him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it is helping him because it's forcing him to do what we all knew he could do, which was close games, and it was frustrating to watch him like sit back and not be more assertive at the end of games. We always say shoot the ball. Why are you always passing it, or why you're not taking those shots when you should, or taking over? But again, that's the difference. That's why sometimes, you know, when you compare LeBron and Jordan, it's really unfair because LeBron isn't like Jordan. Jordan was a scorer. LeBron's mindset is more like Magic Johnson, where he wants to pass first and, you know, distribute the ball. And it's an unfair comparison, even though, he's right now the greatest player of this era, and he's showing why. Because now, as he has to carry his team, it's forcing him to now go, and it's raising his confidence level. John Merkley from New Jersey, you're right, over the last 5-6 years, he's developed into a clutch player. His IQ, his basketball IQ has gone up because of it. But as you guys said in the last, when they had Kyrie Irving can take the ball one-on-one against anybody. So Kyrie Irving was also the type of player that can take the ball, end of the game, and take anybody one-on-one. Was one of the greatest closers still that I've seen on a one-on-one basis. And in Miami, you had Wade, and Wade was used to being the go-to guy at the end of games, didn't mind taking buzzer beater shots. So
I think that's the thing, though, because Wade on the Heat, when he won a championship, it was him and Shaq. I mean, he was the one that had to take the shot.
Yeah, he had to.
That's why I think it's so important that LeBron never really was that guy, you know, because with Cleveland, they were winning, but they were never good enough, you know, by LeBron's self, because the team was terrible as well back then.
But here's what I'm amazed at, and I said this all year to you guys. Cleveland has been up and down all year. They came out on fire to start the year. Then they just went into a tailspin. They got rid of everybody. They played well again. They started picking up, played well again. Then they just ended, the end of the year was like, again. It was just like up, down, up, down. They start the playoffs and the team can't find itself. So LeBron has to kind of carry the team just to victory. And now the team is starting to find itself again, which could be scary in the East. I mean, because we thought, well, maybe this is the year LeBron does not win, because you got a great Sixers young team who had been coming into the playoffs winning 15-16. You had Toronto, who won the East, but we all weren't too confident. We always said, that's why we don't talk about Toronto, because we just thought they were just a fraud, and they're proving to us that they're a fraud. But the Celtics is a team that we didn't talk much all year, and they lost their top two players, and they just continued to win. And they won against great teams. They actually played well against those West Coast teams that the East normally didn't play well against. And here's the Celtics. Everybody picking the Sixers. Nobody talking about the Celtics. And the Celtics just come out and win. They just continue to win. And what I've been impressed with is not just the Celtics as a team, because they got some great players and they're playing very well together. But I'm starting to see why in the coaching staff. Yesterday's game against Philly, the coaching staff made the difference. Celtics coaching staff won that game because they outcoached the Philadelphia Sixers coach. I truly believe that. Every time they called timeouts late in the game, the Celtics, they came out, they ran a play, they scored almost every time off a timeout, where you saw the Sixers look very discombobulated late in the game. They turned the ball over, just surprised and just dumbfounded at the end of the game, where Simmons didn't know whether to give the ball to Embiid out the top. Embiid should have been inside. They all were looking at each other for someone to take over. And they just seemed a little off, where I thought the coach needed to take time, call timeout like the Celtics coach, put some plays together, and it just wasn't happening. And if you guys haven't seen it, go watch Stephen A. Smith. Go see what he said. And he talked about he's never seen a coach, in all these years he's watched NBA playoffs, he's never seen a coach lose 3 games in a row. He actually feels that the Sixers coach has lost the first 3 games for them. And he likes the coach. He didn't want to disrespect him, but he said he's actually lost these 3 games. And yesterday I agree with him because I watched the whole game and I was dumbfounded by it. So your thoughts on that? What do you guys think about the Celtics Sixers and how it's just, goes from, it's 3-0, man. Sixers about to bow out without a win.
Yeah, no, the Sixers are done. The stats of history do not lie. The Sixers are 0-11 when down 0-2 in a series, and the Celtics are 36-0, 2-0 leading in a series. So after Game 2, that was the biggest loss. We could blame the coaches and we could blame everybody, but that Game 2 loss, when you have your best rookie player in Ben Simmons score 1 point, and they didn't lose by much. They didn't get blown out in that game.
Lost by 5 points.
They didn't get blown out. It's not it was a blowout.
No.
They lost by 5 points, and your best player, which is Ben Simmons, or it could be Joel Embiid, whoever, they're very equally played. When you have that kid scoring 1 point, and you know that's your team leader, and they're saying he's the future of the NBA, and he's the rookie of the year, and he's the next LeBron.
Yeah.
Let's slow it down a little bit, okay? This kid's just a rookie. Let's not put all that pressure on him, saying he's going to be probably the next greatest player of all time, all right? This kid scored 1 point, okay? That is unacceptable in a playoff game, especially against a team like the Celtics. You can't do it.
But you're right. I mean, and I want to thank you for reminding me, Michael, that the Sixers had a 15-point lead in that first half.
They did have a lead.
And it was unbelievable, like you said. No subs, no timeouts. You were just dumbfounded how the coach and you feel like he blew that game. He didn't take charge. He didn't call timeouts. He didn't sub.
It's almost reminiscent of the Cavs' first series, where you felt like after every half that the Cavs had a lead, the Pacers would just come back, and it felt like Ty Lue would get out-coached every single time out of the second half.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at it like, how can you let this happen so fast? Like, it would literally they'd be up by 15, and then 5 minutes into the third quarter, it'd be tied up. And you're like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, it's inexperience. We're going to look at this team in a couple of years.
It's the pressure.
They're going to be...
Yeah, it's a mental part of the game that we forget about.
Because, you have so many people who this is their first time.
The
coach.
Yeah,
this is his first time being in the postseason, really.
It's true.
With this team.
And this is where I see, the pressure goes up a level. Every time you went around, the pressure goes up. So you're right, John. Having composure, playing mentally smart in these games, the pressure now goes up. And the pressure did hit Philadelphia because everybody was picking Philly. Everybody said Philly's going to win. Philly's going to beat Cleveland. Philly's going to the finals. And you can see them almost tightening up as this playoffs move on. I see it with Toronto, right? Toronto blew that game 1, and they knew that game 1 was so critical. They were winning the whole game against Cleveland, and Cleveland just played composed. They played close enough. End of the game, you saw Toronto tightening up, and Cleveland just getting the game closer, and then Toronto just couldn't find a bucket. They didn't know who to go to. It was almost like all of a sudden they got confused. Nobody wanted to take the shot. Everybody's passing it. I don't want to shoot it. You shoot it. And that's what I see with Philly, and that's what I see with Toronto. Both of them have yet learned to win in playoff games.
We've seen this for 3 straight years with Toronto,
right,
where they've played well against other teams, and then right when they face LeBron and the Cavs, it's sweep. It just doesn't make any sense. LeBron obviously does not like Toronto very much.
Or Drake.
Or Drake. But you got to look at this playoffs, and we really got to look deeper, because you look at all the rookies that are still in it, and you got Ben Simmons, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got you got Terry Rozier, you got Jason Tatum.
You got some players.
And you're looking at who's the best one and who's playing the best, and you look at Terry Rozier and you're like, this kid, where the heck did this kid come from? All year.
He was the best player all year.
All year until the playoffs.
Because Kyrie's obviously the point guard for the Celtics.
And now you're the Celtics. You're like, well, what do we do? Because we obviously have Kyrie, and we have this kid who looks like he's going to be a superstar.
And let me tell you, that Jason Tatum kid, you're right, Michael. He's been amazing in these playoffs. He doesn't look like a rookie. And man, he almost dunked it on Embiid yesterday. Told Embiid, you got lucky. He literally told him, you got lucky, because he did. But yeah, it's amazing to watch these young kids play. But the Celtics just got something going. They just play very well together. They're very well coached. They out hustling the Sixers. They almost like outplaying them. They want them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every loose ball at the end of the game, they're just outwilling the Philadelphia 76ers.
If Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward were playing right now, I would say that the Celtics would be in the NBA Finals.
Oh, no doubt.
But they don't have them, and that obviously is a huge loss for them because Kyrie Irving, like we talk about, is a superstar. Gordon Hayward is an all-star. He can shoot the three. He can take over games too. Now that those guys aren't there, and they're most likely going to be facing LeBron and the Cavs in the conference finals, that's going to be so much pressure on probably the Celtics because we know that LeBron has been in the finals 7 straight years.
It's true. It's going to be. We're going to see how the Celtics handle.
Even without these two guys,
even
without the two superstars, I'm still worried about the Cavs because the Celtics are such a well-rounded team because they don't need Kyrie or they don't need those two guys to win. So it's like you look at this team and how well-rounded they are without Horford, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Marcus Morris, Jaylen Brown. You're like, wow, they really put together a team.
Yeah, they're a very athletic team.
And just to think that they traded Kyrie Irving for Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
And you look at like how smart that was because they obviously had this Terry Rozier kid.
Yeah.
So they obviously weren't worried about losing Isaiah Thomas.
Let's go now, and just for all of you guys that are tuning in, thank you for tuning in. We call this Family Chats, where sports brings the family together. I'm Freddie, the dad, and the uncle. Got my son Giovanni here, and my nephew Angel over there on the far left. So thanks for tuning in. Share this video. Invite your family and friends for those who like sports. But let's go into now. Let's stay in the East, and let's start talking. Right, let's start talking a little bit Celtics and Cavs because right now they're both up 3-0. So the chances are that 99% that's what the Eastern Finals is going to be, the Celtics and the Cavs. So what do you guys think? The way you asked me this in the car on the way home, and I go, I don't know, man, because at first I didn't think LeBron would get out of the Eastern Conference. But if the Cleveland Cavs play the way they've been the last 2 games, with Love stepping up and playing like old Love, and J.R. Smith playing like the old J.R. Smith, if those guys step up and play well, that team can beat anybody.
I disagree. I don't think they can beat anybody because you look at the Warriors and you look at the Rockets and you're like, well, they are super solid. And I'm looking at this Celtics team, and you just see that they have 5 guys in double-digit scoring, averaging in the playoffs. Averaging the whole entire playoffs, double-digit scoring. You look at the Cavs.
Yeah.
And you look at LeBron didn't have one guy score 20 points at all in that first series.
Makes a difference.
It's that you don't know factor with LeBron's team. You know LeBron what he's going to bring, but you don't know what everybody else is going to bring.
Yeah.
That's what makes me scared for them that they're playing a Celtics team who has looked so solid, and you're like,
and they're good defensively too.
And you look at what they've done so far, and they obviously have a better matchup at center, and they obviously have a better matchup at shooting guard, and a better matchup at point guard, and a better matchup at power forward, and all LeBron has is the better matchup at small forward.
Yeah. But
LeBron's going to really have to carry the team, and they're really going to have to sit down and talk about that.
Listen, I've doubted LeBron a little bit in this playoffs.
We've doubted LeBron a lot this playoff.
I picked the 76ers to go to the NBA Finals.
You did.
You did. I remember that.
And that is obviously not, and that is not going to happen.
Trash.
I just want to apologize to LeBron and disrespecting the king and the greatest player of all time.
Hold your horses, dude.
We're sorry. LeBron.
We're sorry. Don't mean to disrespect you. LeBron is going back to the finals. Not saying he's going to win.
Wow.
I think he has a better chance if he's facing the Rockets in the finals than the Warriors. Because if he faces the Warriors, he might get swept. I'm just being honest. The Warriors are the best team in the league. We said they were going to be the NBA champions in the beginning of the season. I said that. We said it was probably most likely going to be Cavs Warriors again.
Yeah, we did.
And
It might be that again for the 4th straight year.
Yeah.
But if I'm picking LeBron to go back to the finals again, I think he's obviously the best player. They're hot right now. If Tristan Thompson's playing the way he's playing at the center, if J.R. Smith keeps shooting the way he's shooting, Kevin Love, if he contributes and drops 20, just drop 20 every game, then they'll
Just
be
hit
fine.
your shots.
Then they'll be fine.
Just hit your open shots.
I'm
please.
not going to say it's going to be as easy as this Toronto series. I don't think that at all. Maybe they'll go 7 games, but I think I'm giving the edge to Cleveland. They will go back to the finals, and I'm picking LeBron. in the East.
Michael says he does not like their big guys at all against Love and Thompson.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I like Al Horford. Al Horford I think is a better player than Tristan Thompson.
If you don't think Al Horford's going to hoop on Tristan Thompson, you...
But the way Tristan Thompson has been playing,
Yeah,
he's been playing so much better since he's been in that starting role. And you said,
I said
you
that
need to put
all
Tristan
he needed
Thompson
to do was play
back
Tristan
in the
Thompson.
game, and they would make a difference.
I don't understand why they were trying to play so small. It didn't make any sense. I mean, Kevin Love he's not going to out rebound any of these centers. I feel like
no.
you needed Tristan Thompson just to get rebounds and play defense. I mean, Jesus.
Well, John Merkler says if the Cavs play the Warriors, he might have to play defense. Talking about LeBron.
Oh, he has no choice. That
Yeah.
series will be an absolute beatdown.
Yeah, and that's true. He would. He's have to play a big part of it because the Warriors, man, just like they're like the Celtics on steroids. They got so many players that can score besides KD, even off the bench.
Now they got Steph Curry back.
Yeah, now Curry's
I'm
back.
more worried about Steph Curry because when you can't guard a guy who just shoots threes and makes them every single time, that's hard to guard. Off screen, everything.
It's crazy because they can be down 10 or 15 points and cut it down so quickly
Easy.
because they got so many three-point shooters. And that's another thing. Most of their players can hit the three, which becomes even harder to defend. Yeah, it's amazing. KD is playing at an all-time high level. Steph is playing at a high level, and they play defense. The Warriors are a good defensive team when they have to be. So that I'm telling you, the Warriors and Rockets in the West Finals, that to me is going to be the NBA Finals right there. The Finals is in the West.
Disrespectful.
Well, reality is it's in the West. Come on, you know they're the best 2 teams in the NBA. You can't deny that. Houston, they won the West. They beat Golden State twice in the regular season with Curry. So those are the best 2 teams in the NBA. Now, not saying that the team in the East cannot come and play well, but I don't think they're going to beat either one of these teams in the West.
They have a shot if they face the Rockets. I don't think the Rockets have as many lethal weapons as the Warriors do.
True.
But that is their best chance. I don't see them winning at all against Warriors. I could even see them getting swept 4 games in a row.
Yeah, no, I agree. And in the West, where we thought that the Rockets and Golden State would sweep, they have not. Now, Golden State has gone up 3-1 as they won today in New Orleans. And it looks like the Rockets are winning to finish the half. And they took back the home court advantage after Utah upset them in Game 2 at Houston. If Houston wins again in Utah, this series is over. So we'll see what happens, but it looks like Golden State and Houston are both going to go up 3-1 to go into the finals that we thought would happen in the West. What do you guys think about that? I mean, you almost don't agree, and you say it's disrespectful. What are your thoughts on the West? Right, the series between Houston and Golden State. Do you think Houston has come down a notch in the playoffs based on regular season?
Just because of the 2 guys, Harden and Paul have never been. They've never been to an NBA Finals. They've never really won. Well, Harden's been to the finals, but he had Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
He was also a 6-man.
He was also a 6-man. So I mean, they've never been in this role in the playoffs, getting ready to go to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, you've seen it every year with the Clippers, how they would get knocked out before the Western Conference Finals. Paul, Griffin, they would never make it to that next step. So now, I mean, you see them on this team together, and you had high hopes during the regular season, but now that they're in the playoffs, you're like, they just look the same as any other year. They don't look like this team who just left the West at first place. So, I mean, they're just doing what they've always done in the playoffs, which is upsetting. But, you know, Harden's gone off here and there, but I think both of them need to play top tier if they're going to beat the Warriors.
Gerald Bragg, what's up, man? I've seen a couple comments. It says Paul, as great as he is, has never been.
Yeah, he's never been to the West Conference Finals.
Past the second round.
So if he wins this year, it'll be his first year going to the West Conference Finals.
And that's the pressure coming into the playoffs for both, like you said, Harden and Paul. Is the pressure of getting that team at least to the finals. Right? If they lose to Golden State, most people are going to say, hey, we expected it anyways. Good job in winning the regular season, and it was a great year. The reality is that's what they're going to say. Some people might put more pressure on them and say, you have to win the West. With that team, you should go to the finals. But it's true. With that Golden State team, if you just have a respectful series, if that series goes 6-7 games, that'll be enough for everyone to tip their cap to Houston and say, you know, that was a great year.
Who's gonna say? No, they're gonna forget about it. Well, ain't nobody gonna remember the regular season, and no one's gonna care if the Rockets.
They will once they give Harden the MVP.
No, still think LeBron's the MVP. He's the MVP of the playoffs. He's the MVP of the regular season. I still think. I mean, doesn't matter how you start. It matters how you finish, right?
That's how you finish, man. They finished first in the West, best record in the NBA. So now it's true. They have to finish, and their biggest battle is going to be Golden State. I believe if whoever comes out of the West is going to win the championship. Because I don't think if Houston beats Golden State, I don't think no way that a team from the East is going to come and beat them. I don't see that happening.
I mean,
you never know.
We haven't seen a lot of things that LeBron has done in his career, so.
It's true.
He's shocked us all.
He did.
And if his team plays as well as they are right now, they can beat anybody, like you said.
I just don't think I don't think defensively they would be able to hold up. That's what Angel said too with Golden State.
Do you think they can beat the Jazz?
Can Cleveland beat the Jazz?
Do you think
I think it would be better. I think it would be a better series. It would be 7-game series.
Do you think they can beat the Pelicans?
That would go 7 games.
Do you think they can beat the Pelicans?
No.
I think they'd beat the Pelicans.
I don't think they can beat the Pelicans. I don't think they can beat the Pelicans.
I do.
What the hell?
In the 7-game series, Cleveland wouldn't beat the Pelicans.
Yes, they would.
No.
They would absolutely destroy them.
No, they wouldn't.
And I think if the Pelicans can get a game off the Warriors, and the Jazz can get a game off the Rockets, then I think LeBron James can get a couple games off these teams. That's what I see in these games. If a team like the Pelicans can beat the Warriors, then I'm pretty sure LeBron James can get a game or two off of the Warriors or the Rockets.
No, because what would happen is Golden State defensively is so good that they would force the rest of the Cleveland Cavs to carry that team. They would not let LeBron carry that team. So LeBron's going to be hard pressed to score 40 against Golden State. Because they're going to bring all the pressure on LeBron. I would too. I would force everybody else to score.
LeBron would.
And they got a good enough defense to stop LeBron from scoring. The reason LeBron can score 40 against the East because nobody can, even on the double team, can't do anything about it. I think Golden State defensively is a better defensive team than anybody the East is bringing up. But again, you're right. You know, LeBron can win a few games against any team in the West.
And it just depends
what do you guys
on
think?
Who it comes down
Mike,
to.
You say that's bad logic, but, you know, explain yourself. Talk to us. John Waite, the NBA has a team named the Pelicans. That's true. This is one of the worst names. And Mike says, I like Draymond. I like Draymond on the King. See? That's true. You put Green on LeBron, and then you bring other guys to double team him.
Well,
it's gonna find a bunch.
LeBron's done it before against those guys, so I don't.
When you had Kyrie, because you couldn't double them up. There's no Kyrie this year.
We'll see then. Like I said, Warriors, that's Warriors, no shot. Rockets, I'll give them a chance. Rockets, I'll give them a chance.
That's right, Aaron. Aaron says, didn't they used to be the Hornets?
Yeah.
So they went from the Hornets to a worse name, the Pelicans.
Now the Hornets Hornets are in.
John says the Warriors
Carolina.
slightly better than Houston, which is slightly better than Celtics Cavs. So he kind
Warriors
of
slightly.
better than Houston, and Houston slightly better than Celtics and Cavs. So he kind of goes. He's saying Golden State's 1, Houston's 2, Cavs and Celtics 3, 4.
I can agree with that.
If you rank them that way, I guess that's what you're saying. But we agree with that too. I think it's going to be it's fun. It's fun to see. I think that, like you said, the Pelicans are learning that they still have some growing to do. Young players, young talent. Just another level when you're facing Golden State.
It's just crazy because the Cavs are going to be in last.
Same
place
thing with
next
the
year.
Jazz. Jazz, good team, good playoffs, but they're realizing the playoffs is once you get to that second round, you got to take it to a whole nother
And the
level.
Cavs are going to be in last place next year because LeBron's not going back.
Where is LeBron going? Where's LeBron going?
It's going to LA, I'm telling you.
No, he's
I'll
not.
just wait on it.
All right,
LA
so
ain't happening.
the Hornets still exist. Yes, they do. That's true. The Hornets do still exist, but
They're Michael Jordan's team now.
They're the
the
Charlotte
team
Hornets.
switched to the Pelicans, and then they obviously kept that name in Charlotte, in North Carolina. But we done with the NBA.
No,
Well, you guys got
NBA trivia.
NBA trivia. Talk to
Playoff.
us. Joe,
NBA playoff.
Angel,
Trivia. Do you
What's
know
up?
your NBA playoffs?
you know we're gonna challenge you guys.
Don't know what song that is, so you're gonna have to make that beat up, alright? Alright, here is the first trivia question. What is the most points scored in a playoff game?
Most points.
Most points.
Michael
63.
Jordan
Michael Jordan
scored
game
63
against the
against the
Celtics.
Celtics, but they lost, so it doesn't matter.
Wow, that proves something, huh? Doesn't matter if you can score.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because they lost, so don't talk about
63 to lose. That is embarrassing. And he's the GOAT?
The Celtics. It's true. You know what?
For some
you know
people.
You know what it was? You had the Celtics were like Golden State back then, and Jordan was on a team like LeBron this year. Well, he had to score so many points for them to even have a chance. That's what the Bulls were at that time. That was before they won any championships.
Yeah,
It was back then. That's exactly what I think. He might have been a rookie. Yep, John 63. Exactly what we said. Celtics owned the Bulls back then.
The answer.
They had 5
The
Hall of
answer
Famers
is-
on that team.
Michael Jordan, 63. It's the Celtics.
Do you know that?
1986.
Do you know every one of those Celtics starters were in the Hall of Fame?
That's pretty good. No, the Celtics back in the day, they were
Them
beasts.
and the Lakers.
They
Yeah,
were
Jordan was
them and the Lakers.
I mean, Bird was a beast. That's right, John.
All right, so if you got that question right, you know your NBA trivia. But we got one more, and we're gonna go.
Wait. All right, go ahead.
All right,
Here we go.
Trivia question number 2.
All right, we'll try not to answer it. We'll give you guys a
Yeah,
shot.
yeah. We'll give you guys a second before
all
we
right,
answer.
this might be a little tougher question. This might be a little tougher. Maybe not, but this is for you 76ers fans.
No cheating, all right?
76ers fans, because I feel bad for the Sixers right now, down 3-0, they're going to lose, pick them in the finals, you know. The last time the Sixers were in the NBA Finals was in 2001 against the Lakers. Who did the 76ers beat to go to the finals in 2001?
2001.
Who did they beat in the conference finals? Let's see if you guys know your
You
NBA
know
trivia.
your NBA trivia.
Who did they beat?
2001, the Sixers with Allen Iverson.
And Allen
I
Iverson.
know it.
Pretty sure Allen Iverson won the MVP that year, no?
Yep.
Allen
He was a beast.
Iverson, Sixers team. Who did they beat
Let's
to
see if
go
you
to the
Phillies-
finals against the
I
Lakers?
think I know.
Philly fans know
I'm
your
not.
I
trivia.
think I'm going to
Know your
guess
team.
someone I have in mind. But
I will give you a hint.
John
It
Brooklyn
wasn't the
says
Celtics
Boston.
or the Cavs.
Not the Celtics, John.
It was not the Celtics or
I'm
the
going to
Cavs.
say.
I want to.
It's a
wait,
team
wait,
that-
wait,
I'm
wait,
gonna
wait, wait.
Or the Knicks.
We have to
It
say it at
was
the
not
same time.
Knicks.
We have to say it at the same time.
Alright.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Magic.
Alright, so, so your guess is
Our
the
guess was the
Magic.
Magic.
Because I knew he was gonna say the same thing as me.
Shaq and I think
Oh,
it's
it might have been the Nets. It might have been because they had
Gerald
Jason
Black
Kidd.
says the Nets.
That might be right.
I hope
My
you weren't
guess was-
cheating, Gerald.
Our guess was Orlando.
We guessed
I
Orlando.
guess
I
at
don't
the same
know why.
time. Because they had Shaq back then. And,
I
and
thought
Penny
they had-
Hardaway.
yeah, I
so
thought they
I don't
had.
know when that ended though. I think it was like 1997.
I thought it was Shaq, but Shaq could have been
Shaq
at
might have
the
been in
Lakers.
the Lakers back
and the
then.
Lakers beat the
Oh,
Sixers.
I want
That's
my
true.
I want my pick back.
Well, I will give you another hint. This will be the last hint.
So we got it
Shaq
wrong.
was on the Lakers
Yes,
in
he
2001,
wasn't
so
with
he
the
was not
Lakers.
on the Magic.
All right.
But the Magic were in the playoffs, a 7 seed.
7 seed.
And the Nets were not in the playoffs that year.
The
Wow.
Nets were not in the playoffs, Gerald, so it wasn't the
All right.
Nets.
So one more guess we get. Okay.
I'm gonna guess now.
I have no idea who to
Yeah, I
guess.
have no idea.
I will give you a hint. They were the 2 seed.
Thanks.
Thank you. That trash hint.
All right, here.
Hold on.
Let's see.
Do you want me to give you the names of the teams that were in the East in the
Yeah,
playoffs?
tell us who were in the playoffs.
All right, number 1.
Don't give us the
Whoa,
number.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Don't go by. Just throw the numbers
Random
out.
number
Don't go
generator.
1, 2. No, don't do
Just
that.
say the teams.
All
right,
just
the
random,
Sixers,
random number
The
generator.
Sixers.
the Sixers, the Pacers, the Knicks,
I was gonna say the
the
Pacers.
Raptors,
Knicks,
Heat,
Raptors, Heat,
Hornets,
It was the Raptors.
Hornets,
Bucks, Magic.
It was the
Bucks,
Raptors.
Magic. Gabi says Bucks.
It was the Raptors.
I say Pacers.
It was the Raptors.
All right,
Joe
final
says
choice,
Raptors.
final answer.
The Raptors.
Final answer.
Raptors. Who you got?
I got the Pacers.
Pacers, and then
You got the Bucks, Gabi. Anybody else?
the correct answer is the Bucks. They were the number 2
Gabi
seed.
got it right. He was cheating.
It went to a
Cheating.
7. It went to a 7-game
You
series.
You had Siri on your
7
phone?
game. They won. So the Bucks. They beat the Bucks in the
Bucks.
finals.
What, who was on the Bucks back then?
No idea.
Al Harrington, maybe?
No.
When did he start playing?
No, I know. I want to say I know a few guys off the top of my head. I can't think of the name.
You're right. Look up the starting
That
5.
was-
Look up the starting 5
Had
Bucks.
some pretty good scores back then. I know it's been a long time. Yeah, Glenn Robinson. That's one guy I was thinking of. Thanks, John. That was the team with Glenn Robinson.
Ray
and
Allen.
A few other guys. Ray Allen. You see Glenn Robinson on there? Yep.
A bunch of other dudes I don't know.
I'll see if I know him. Sam
Jason
Cassell.
Hart.
Nope. Glenn Robinson was the one that carried that team.
The Raptors.
So, yep, Ray Allen and Glenn Robinson. Big dog.
Man,
Glenn
Sixers
Robinson was a
finished
beast.
first.
Yeah, the
I didn't think they had a good team.
All right.
Sixers were very good. All right, that was
Is that
the
it
NBA
for
trivia.
NBA trivia?
Yes. We will
All
continue.
right.
We will continue to do that if you
We
guys
will
like that.
continue to do NBA trivia as the weeks go on. Let's move on. Yes? What we got on the agenda, Jeff?
All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and
Looking to party some, ass in a party, look like a pageant. If we gon' fight some, beat it and dash it, low you do